always encouraged my children to be their true selves. Be who you want to be. Be good. Welcome all you plastics and the greatest people you'll ever meet. This is the Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth, coming in with attitude and making it everyone's problem. Every week, Michelle and I curl up on the couch and watch a movie, and then we haul it into the studio for a Catherine Parker performance review. It's not a critical review, but we absolutely will be critical. Does it hold up? Are we fetch? Or are we the ones who peaked on a Wednesday and have been coasting ever since? So crack a window, find the throw your Mimi gave you, and sit with us at the cool table as we hit replay. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is a war room.
Such a dork.
Don't hate.
So this week, if you haven't guessed, is Mean Girls from 2004, not the 2024 remake or continuance. I don't know. I don't know anything about the newer one.
It's a sequel.
Oh, it is a sequel? Okay. Yeah.
I think.
I never gave it much thought until today. Okay, so the IMDb, as I'm going to now start calling it, has this to say about Mean Girls. Raised in the African bush country by her zoologist parents, Cady Heron thinks she knows all about the survival of the fittest. But the law of the jungle takes on a whole new meaning when the homeschooled 16-year-old enters public high school for the very first time. Trying to find her place between jocks, mathletes, and other subcultures, Cady crosses paths with the meanest species of all, the queen bee, a.k.a. the cool and calculating Regina George, leader of the school's most fashionable clique, the Plastics. When Cady falls for Regina's ex-boyfriend, Aaron Samuels, though, the queen bee is stung and she schemes to destroy Cady's social future. Cady's own claws soon come out as she leaps into a hilarious girl world war. Girl world war? Okay. Sorry, it's the way it's written. That has the whole school running for cover. That was written by Chris Hunter. Sorry, Chris. A.K.a. Dr. Evil Guy 200.
There were 200 Dr. Evils before him.
Yeah. But, you know, I like Dr. Evil. He's like the Inspector Gadget of the obscure.
So how did you feel when you watched Mean Girls the first time?
So Mean Girls hit me in a way I didn't expect. I thought it was going to go into this movie going, ha ha ha, this is a funny movie about stupid high school kids. But I kind of related a little bit too hard to Janice. And so as much as I loved this movie, I loved how, like, I felt so much towards her and what she went through. And like when she gives her little speech at the end, I was like, I wish I could have been her, you know? So for me, it was a very empowering, even though I was reliving a lot of like crap that I did go through, it was still kind of an empowering seeing the person who I related to get a little bit of a jab at the end. So yeah, it makes me feel happy that they're, or inspired to be a stronger person.
Okay. For me, it was, I don't know, it was weird because I remember it being so much more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it. Maybe deeper?
Yeah.
I think I projected a lot of stuff onto the protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted the, I don't know what I wanted out of it. I wanted Cady to be deeper than she was. She comes in to the movie making you believe she's deeper. So for me, it was, I think when I first saw it, I thought it was a much deeper movie. So I looked at it as more of a projection of what I wanted
Mm-hmm.
for myself, I wish I'd had
Yeah.
for myself, is to be that central character who was deeper than the people around them and perhaps lost their way but found it back again. So, I mean, there was jealousy involved.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely
yes.
jealousy.
Oh,
And I
yes.
mean, there's going to be, I mean, trans women tend to be jealous of cis women because they get to be themselves.
And
It's not great for them. Cis women have to put up with a lot of things, and it's dangerous. But, you know, trans women have to fight to get to that point where they can come out. And so there's a jealousy there of you get to exist,
mm-hmm.
and we have to hide existing.
I think,
And
I'm sorry.
I think that's what this movie kind of, because it's a girl war,
Mm-hmm.
you just see a bunch of girls going, and you're going, why are you fighting?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, why are you fighting with each other?
When it could
You have boys to fight.
That's the horrible thing about high school is it's not the real world. And the shit that happens in high school only happens in high school. I mean, it goes on, you know, it can start early, but it really is, you're not the same person that you were in high school. But, you know, you're saying how that trans women tend to be, you know, jealous of cis women because of the aspects that we have. But as a cis woman, there's the jealousy of seeing other girls who act like they're being themselves. Now, there's a chance that with, you know, Regina and Gretchen and Karen, that they're not really being their genuine selves because they're trying to be this perception of what other people see as perfection. But when you're that age, when you're in high school, you see those girls and you don't know that they're pretending. So you just pray, like you have even like, why can't I be myself and be accepted? Why do I have to be something else to be accepted? It's a freaking minefield of bullshit is high school. And when I was teaching high school and I was with my my special needs kids, we had peer tutors and they were the general ed kids, and they would come in and we would have conversations about high school and, oh my God, this is what's happening and da 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 da. And I would always tell them, no, don't worry about it. Or even with our own kids, this is not the real world. These bitches are going to have to realize that that's not going to fly when you go outside of this building, you know? So it's a good portrayal of the stupid that is high school. I have to admit that, even if it is a bit overblown.
No, I get that.
So Mean Girls, like I said, 2004, was directed by Mark Waters. It was written by Tina...
It's plural Waters.
Oh, it is Waters? Oh, I just forgot to write the S. Sorry, my bad. I actually forgot to write the A at the end of Amanda, so it's Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah.
So
He's Lakes, Streams,
Waters. Okay.
Yes.
Mark Waters. And it was written by Tina Fey, but it was originally a book by Rosalind Wiseman called Queen Bees and Wannabes. Actually, it's got a very long title. I only wrote that part of it.
That's the only thing everybody writes.
Yes.
So Mark Waters did The House of Yes, Freaky Friday, and Just Like Heaven.
Woohoo. Okay, and I was going to talk about Tina Fey, but that's silly because we're going to talk about Tina Fey in the cast list.
Sure.
Okay. Lindsay Lohan is our main actress, and she plays Cady Heron.
Or Cady.
Cady.
I've heard it both ways.
Anthony.
She was in The Parent Trap, Freaky Friday, and Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
All the Herbie movies.
Herbie Fully Loaded.
And she was in Prairie Home Companion, which I actually like that movie.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a PBS like a PBS radio thing.
So I think it's I've seen it once.
I say PBS,
and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, public radio. Yeah,
or like an NPR thing.
NPR, that's what I'm looking for.
So I believe it used to be a radio, like a genuine radio show, but it has a feel like Mighty Wind and Best in Show. It has that feel to it.
Okay,
we'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Rachel McAdams, who plays Regina George.
She was in The Notebook, Wedding Crashers, and Doctor Strange. And she's one of those actresses that it always throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's playing this, first of all, she's playing a teenager.
Yes.
She was not a teenager.
No.
But she killed it.
Yes. And what's funny is, like, I in my clues last week, she was 7 years older than Lindsay Lohan, but she was 7 or 8 years younger than Amy Poehler, who plays her mother.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies.
But she did kill it, though.
Oh, yeah. And I have Eurovision, which is a movie we just recently did.
And she was really good in that.
I know.
I loved
and
her
like
in that.
I forgot she's in Doctor Strange. Like, I literally, because I think of her as a blonde, I think of her as like just different characters. I never, like, I know she's in it.
She's one of those actresses you're surprised to find her in things, even though you know she's damn well in it.
And you know she's good.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow.
That's the kind of that's the kind of chameleon she is.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we have Tina Fey, who plays Mrs. Norbury.
Yeah, she was in 30 Rock, Baby Mama, and Bossy Pants.
Mwahaha. I have SNL and Muppets Most Wanted.
And of course, Murders in the
Building. Yes.
I keep forgetting the only part.
And it's funny because she loves Steve Martin, and she had wanted him to play Mr. Duval.
The principal, yeah.
Yes. And he couldn't do it.
So now she got to be in something
So
with
she got
him.
to be in something with him. I just think that's so funny. We have, speaking of Mr. Duval, Tim Meadows, who broke his hand prior to filming, which is why his character has carpal tunnel.
Tim was in Saturday Night Live, The Ladies' Man, Walk Hard, The Dewey Cox Story.
Oh, wow.
I know, I pulled one.
Wow.
He was also in The Office
And he was
in one episode.
And he's our favorite cannibal in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Damn straight. He had a recurring bit in that.
Yes, he did.
For a little while. Yeah, I liked him in that.
And he is and I don't think he is, maybe I'm wrong because I didn't look it up.
He's not a cannibal.
No. I don't think he's an SNL alum. I think he is a In Living Color alum.
No, he's in SNL.
He's in SNL?
Yes.
Why did I think he was in Living Color? Because we were talking about Damon Wayans. That's why.
Probably.
Because I showed you the clip about. Okay, never mind. Okay, we have Amy Poehler, who plays Mrs. George.
Also in Saturday Night Live. You're going to see a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Parks and Recreation, which is where we know her from best.
Yes.
Inside Out.
I have Wine Country, which has almost everybody else in this cast
true.
in it. But
she also did, I think she was in Baby Mama.
Baby Mama, yes.
Tina Fey and her were both in that.
And for me, she is the only truly acceptable politician in the world. Leslie Knope.
I agree.
Anna Gasteyer, who plays Katie's mom.
She was also in Saturday Night Live, believe it or not. She was in Suburgatory and Wicked.
I have her down as Dolly Parton's Mountain Magic Christmas. It's like, I'm sorry, it was so much.
That is such.
No.
That is such a weird thing.
Yeah.
I would not have expected that. It's like saying Patrick Swayze was in it.
But she didn't play. I mean, obviously she played a character, so she was. But yeah, I think that is funny.
She just walked through the set.
And I love Dolly. No, but we're going to talk about people who walk through the set because I got some dirt.
Okay.
Okay. So next we have Lacey Chabert, who played Gretchen Wieners.
It's just a funny name. I'm sorry.
Her dad invented the toaster strudel.
Yeah, she was in Party of Five, the Wild Thornberrys movie, and A Royal Christmas. She also did a lot of the commercials for the fake holiday movie.
Yeah.
You know, what is it, the type of movie
they were doing Hallmark kind of.
Hallmark. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's going to come back around too.
Yeah. And that was with the veterinarian from Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek, yep. I had Party of Five written down for her. We have Lizzie Kaplan, who plays Janice Ian.
Lizzie's one of those people I cannot see as young. It freaks me out to think of her as being young. I don't know why, because I have a set age for her, and it starts at Cloverfield, which is one of the movies she was in. She was also in Masters of Sex and Fatal Attraction, the 2023.
Yes, and she played Nick's crazy girlfriend on New Girl.
Yes, she did. And I liked her in that.
I did too. Daniel Franzese, who played Damian Lee.
Yeah, so Daniel was not out at the time of this movie, and he had conflicted feelings about it. And I think it actually helped him. I think he said it actually helped him process a lot. He came out in like 2012.
Okay.
So he came out as gay, which is kind of cool. He was in I Am Michael, Looking, and Wentworth.
He was also in an episode of Glow, The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. He was also he played the mother in one of my favorite shorts, and I'd forgotten about this. Shit Italian Moms Say. If you ever,
No, I've never saw it, yeah.
I'm going to make you watch it later because I swear to God, you're going to hear things my mother says.
It's not just a thing she's saying. She will make me watch it.
Yes, I will make her watch it. But I found out stuff about him that I think is pretty awesome. He is a survivor of conversion therapy.
Yeah.
And he works with the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation. He works to try to help people to stop the conversion therapies from happening.
Yeah, because it's not conversion therapy. It's conversion torture.
It's torture.
Yeah.
And he is one of the first plus-size male models in like, at all, like, ever. I think that is so awesome. Yeah, he just has I was reading about him and I'm like, damn, I think I love him even more.
And I see like photos of him now with the beard.
Gorgeous.
Oh,
he's gorgeous.
Pretty. I mean, he's not bad looking in that. He's just very awkward. Because he's playing a kid.
Playing a teenager, so he's supposed to be. And we have Neil Flynn, who plays Katie's dad, who now we have a new headcanon. He's also the janitor from Scrubs.
Yeah, I've got Scrubs. He was in The Middle and Home Alone 3. The Reckoning.
Lord, The Reckoning. But we have this headcanon now saying that after they came back from Africa and Mom went to go work at the university, he had nothing to do with himself because Katie's now no longer needing to be homeschooled.
Right.
So he found the local hospital and he would go over there and he would pretend to be a janitor.
Well, I think maybe he got a part-time job as a janitor.
Eventually. I don't think it started out that way.
Right. And he's just fucking with JD.
He's fucking with JD. So he found a bunch of new doctors and just, That's
how he kills the time. Chip Heron kills the time by messing with JD.
Yeah, exactly.
And making up an entire life for himself.
Exactly. Because he doesn't want people to know his real life.
Maybe he has second family.
Second family. Okay, so
whole new headcanon.
So we have Amanda Seyfried, who played Karen Smith, which is the most white girl name. I should have looked it up, but I wonder if why people use Karen is because of Karen Smith.
I don't know.
Well, usually it's an older woman used
Karen. It's an
Karen,
older woman who's like wanting to see the manager. So this is her first film. This is her debut. The Psychic Elbow. She killed that scene.
her boobs that can predict the rain. I love when she's standing in the rain and she's like, my boobs say it's going to be, and she touches her boobs, 30% chance of rain, and it is literally raining on her.
It is easy to think that playing Vapid is a simple task, but she is doing it so well. She does a great job in this movie as a baby. She does a great job.
That's why she's moved on with her life to be
so great now, and she's in everything. So she was in Mamma Mia.
Yes, she was.
Les Mis.
She played Cosette.
And Mank.
And last but not least, I have Jonathan Bennett, who plays Aaron Samuels. So here's the thing about Aaron. He was in a lot of movies that were like kind of like not the top movies. They're kind of like B movies, but they were like a lot of scary movies. But he has done a ton of Hallmark movies in recent years. Like most of his IMDb, Imbda. I can't remember what I was calling
it.
it.
The cut of his jib, is that why?
I think so. But if you look at his newer stuff, it is almost all like Hallmark-like movies.
Yeah, no, he's a Hallmark actor now.
Yeah.
That is what he
hey,
do.
bless you, man. You know you're getting work.
Yeah, he did The Christmas House. Van Wilder, freshman year.
Yeah, he did do other stuff.
He did Awkward. Yeah, he did a lot of TV movies.
Yeah.
Make or Break Holiday, A Keller Christmas Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seems like that's the way he went with things. Happy Holidays. And I'm assuming that's with dogs. Season Greetings from Cherry Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just kind of did TV movie. Good on him.
Yeah.
He found a niche and he stuck with it.
I don't judge anybody, even like soap opera actors.
Why would you judge them? They're working.
Yeah, they're working. Soap opera actors, people give them such shit, but they have to memorize their scripts every damn day.
I would never want to do soap opera. If you can do soap opera, you can do everything.
They tease, like, I know that the guys on Supernatural tease Jensen because of his early days in soap operas, but Jensen is a good actor.
And he can remember his damn lines.
And he knows his damn lines. Unlike some people looking at you, Misha.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Of course, Misha usually has Jared's foot on his nuts when he's trying to deliver a
that's
line.
true, too.
Because he's fucking with them literally all the time.
Is that all you have?
That's all I've got.
Okay, I've got one more.
Okay.
Rajiv Surendra. And he was Kevin Napur.
Okay.
Or Kevin G, as he prefers.
MC?
Right. He was the Mad MC, or I think that's what he called himself, Mad MC.
And he's the mathletes dude.
Right. He was in The World's Fastest Indian, Life of Pi, and Chalk Circle. So he's in there enough to where I feel he had a speaking part and he was
kissing.
snogged
somebody. So
so if he's kissing someone and he has a speaking part, I say give him the nod,
Definitely.
And so he raps at the Winter Talent Festival or Winter Talent Show, and it's horrible but also funny.
Yes.
At the same time, it's uncomfortable. It's cringe.
Yes, it's definitely cringe.
But it's not bad. He did a great job being cringy, but he is definitely the
rapping granny of the movie.
No, I'm talking about like at the end when they match up.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh well, this is just a first season Anne and Haverford.
Yes, you're right.
Matchup
with him and her. Yeah, him and Janice.
Not first season, but the season they were together.
Yeah, with Anne Perkins and Tom Haverford. Yeah. I just with Parks and Rec, I always love how Chris Traeger never says her name, just Anne. It's always Anne Perkins.
Anne Perkins. Yeah.
I love that he has to say her whole name.
Well, I like
he does it with everybody, really, though.
In The Office and with Parks and Rec, they had the same writing style, which is the writers would always try to pair people up that weren't previously paired up.
Yes.
And I think with Tom, it was just seeing who would kiss him.
I'm not a fan. So Tom Haverford is like a character I would hold his head under the water till the bubble stopped.
Bloop.
Yep. I don't like him. He's obnoxious. Even when he's redeemed and he's a quote-unquote...
No, I think he's still selfish.
He's still such a... but you got to have a character that you don't like. Otherwise, it can't be all sparkles and feathers.
So yeah, let's continue from how you feel, and then talk about how this movie felt to us. So when we come into it, Cady, or Cady, if you want to say her name like you're nasty, Cady Heron is from Africa, she was coming from Africa. They're not from there.
No.
Because her mother got a job. And at a university, and they moved back to the States.
Yes.
So they're both zoologists. And so Cady tends to see people or see scenarios in the environment or in this school as, and she only does it a few times.
Yeah,
really,
but she relates
she
it
sees
to
them as in an animal's reaction kind of way.
Yeah, like when they go to the mall and they see the fountain and the kids are all hanging out around the fountain. She's like, oh, it's like the watering hole in Africa during mating season. And you see them, they're grooming each other and they're smelling each other and then they fight over each other. And like even later on when she gets pissed at Regina, she kind of imagines herself as a big cat jumping over the table and attacking her, and you hear the roars and the animal sounds.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The thing is with Cady is when you start out, she is that homeschooled naive.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also kind of like, I don't know, elf.
Yeah, like the fish out of water, definitely. But yeah.
Well, really bright-eyed and everything's a wonder.
And overwhelming.
Right, but they're not scared by the overwhelming part at all until it happens. She comes in joyful about the changes and about experiencing new things.
Mm-hmm.
And then she hits the campus.
Mm-hmm.
And as she hits the campus, there's chaos.
Yes.
There's a book burning. Someone's burning a book on the lawn, which would never happen on the front lawn. And
in the back somewhere, who knows?
Somewhere in the back, probably in the gym, actually. But
under the bleachers.
You see a lot of, like people kissing. It looks like a party.
Yeah.
Which is not how high schools ever really are.
No, and I went to a high school that got nicknamed Heroin High, and it wasn't like that.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a lot that she's walking into, and it is overwhelming. I love how she describes the other homeschooled, like what people think of when they think of homeschooled. And it's the boys talking about the guns and the homosexuals because it's against God and amen. Yeah. And they were cute, but also I wanted to smack them.
But, this is shot like a wildlife documentary coming into the school.
Yes.
So you get to see this whole, like, ecosystem that she is talking about as she comes through because it's like predators everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And she realizes she's not in necessarily the safest place.
Yes. She was safer in Africa.
Right. And you feel like she's definitely going to be in danger at some point because she's just innocent. She's the prey animal. She's the one prey animal walking through this school.
Yeah. What's sad is this isn't even before school shootings because this is well after Columbine.
Oh, yeah.
And yet they don't really address that aspect of it. Yet she's, already got the fear. That's a whole other aspect and angle that's not usually, thought of when you watch a comedy. But they're talking about the realism of high school, so.
Right. Well, she meets Regina and Damien.
Mm-hmm. No, Janice and Damien.
Did I say Regina?
Yes, you did.
Sorry, Janice and Damien.
Yes.
And they kind of clue her in.
Yeah.
On who everybody is.
Yeah. They kind of feel bad for her because she's walking around wide-eyed.
They're just trying to keep her from dying.
Yes, because you don't want to sit behind the farting guy.
And she gets explicitly told who these people are.
Yes.
She was told who the plastics are, and you can tell that Janice has a grudge against the plastics.
Yes.
You don't know why yet,
no.
But you do know she has one.
Cady walks by the plastics. And I understand why she sits down, because when the popular girl talks to you and tells you to sit down, for a hot second, you're going, I'm not that weird. And then you sit down and then you realize, fuck, I am very weird and I am now awkward and now I don't know how to get out of this situation.
I don't have that experience. Because I just didn't go into the lunchroom.
Yeah. We did. We had to in freshman year. We didn't have a choice.
I sat by myself all through elementary. I sat by myself perfectly willingly. I never cared about who was around me. I sat, people might be there, but they were long tables. They weren't the individual tables of high school.
Okay.
And in junior high, you had the same long tables.
Yeah.
But I had friends then, but we naturally gravitated towards each other because we were nerds.
Yeah, and so when I was doing my notes and I was thinking about things, I didn't have we had actually two cafeterias. They were back to back because we had at one point a very huge population, and it probably has changed. I know that they've added on to the school and changed the layout.
Did they have the rich cafeteria and then the poor's?
Yes. So literally.
Oh my God, I was joking.
No. You knew that if you went to I can't remember. I think they were like A and B or 1 and 2. I don't remember how they were labeled. But you knew that if you went over to that one cafeteria, that's where you did not fit in. Now, in the loser cafeteria, even that kind of had its hierarchy of assholes and stupid.
Sure.
But and like I said, freshman year, you did not have a choice until you could go off campus.
Right.
And then we would just walk over to the 7-Eleven or to the pizza place. Al's Pizza Works, calling you out, man, because you were awesome. And we would, we didn't have to deal with any of that shit. But even then, there was another pizza place down the and you didn't.
There was a poor's and a rich.
No,
pizza
I'm not
place?
shitting you because the poor kids would all go to Al's because, like, for $2, you got 2 slices of pizza, a bag of chips, and a Coke.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good
But
price.
if you went to the other one, they expected you to sit down in the restaurant. It was higher end. They had more choice because you could get like all sorts of different flavor pizzas. So it was definitely like I went there one time because we were invited to go with a group of people, but I never fit in. So that's part of why I relate to Janice is I was always on the outside, and no matter how much my friend would try to make me fit in, like oh God, I remember this one time she picked out my outfit. She picked out how I should do my hair, and somehow I did it wrong. And she was pissed at me for the whole entire night. And
well, you wore the dress wrong?
I think I did my hair wrong. And she was mad at me because, that was what it was. I dyed my hair burgundy. And that night, like I went home, dyed my hair burgundy. She knew I was going to do this, but my hair kind of had like a purpley hue to it. It wasn't a really outrageous burgundy color, but it was enough that she got pissed because I didn't look like how she expected me or wanted me to look when we went to this party. And so she was mad at me. But the thing about her was that she was my best friend, but she never made any qualms about saying I'm not her best friend.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I should have known. It was a weird situation, and I adored her to pieces. I really wished that we were better friends, but
she was a real Regina.
She wasn't, though. That was the thing. She was a poor girl who wanted to be a rich girl.
Sure, but she was a Regina to Janice back in the day.
Yes, because then she became a rich girl because she married well.
Yeah.
Dated well, and then married well. Yeah.
If you'd not dyed your hair, you could have had that same life.
Well, I think it's what she wanted, but like at the same time, she was very willing to manipulate and become something different to fit into that world, and I didn't know how to do that.
But that's what happens in this film, is that people change to fit certain things or expectations.
Yes.
And one of those is Cady. She's who you're seeing. But there are a lot of people in this film that are not who they truly are. And they are that way because it's how they developed.
Yes.
So Janice started out as one of the plastics. In fact, I think she was the originator.
Probably, yes.
And she was the one that choreographed the Christmas dance.
Mm-hmm.
They were still using that same choreography. And that's how you find out that she was one of the plastics, is Regina was her best friend.
Yep.
And she dyed her hair. She came back after, I guess, the mad episode of talking shit about her, calling her a lesbian.
Yes.
Accusing her of being in love with Regina,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel was projection.
Probably.
more than anything else. But and anyone who is so like into guys is kind of overcompensating. Now, I'm not trying to put that, Regina was gay.
No.
But she certainly had all the signs of someone trying to put it off on someone else.
Definitely. And we have, the other plastics, Gretchen and Karen, who are just followers. And Gretchen is actually, I feel, much smarter than she allows because of the fact that, because that's why her hair is so big. It's full of secrets.
It's full of secrets.
She is the keeper of the secrets. And while she's not very good at it, but she does have it and she knows the shit on everybody. You don't have the ability to retain that much information if you don't have some type, like, minute bit of intelligence. You can't retain that,
I think she has intelligence. She just doesn't have introspection.
Yeah, and she's
not a very deep person.
Well, no.
She's defined, in fact, by her father.
Yes.
That's the only definition she has.
Yeah.
During the apologies, it was only about her father. It had nothing to do with her.
Yeah, she's
the fact that he's the inventor of
the toaster strudel.
Toaster strudel.
And she's very,
which
I'm
I don't think is true.
And now Karen is vapid, but Karen is just a follower. She's so it's obvious with Gretchen and Karen because when Regina is knocked down, they follow Cady.
Here's my thing with her, though. I think that if the plastics weren't around, she would be an avid part of another group.
She would.
Non-plastics, like non-mean girls.
No, she would just follow whatever group.
Because she just wants to be liked and she wants to have friends.
And she's really not a mean person.
No, she's just vapid.
Yeah, she's just follower. And doesn't really have an individual thought of her own.
No, but I think that she's pretty happy.
Oh, yeah.
She's not unhappy in it.
No.
So I think that some people just like following.
And those are the girls that would end up talking to the wrong person, like me. And like they would talk to people like me, not I'm that person. And be like made fun of by their group. And that's why they don't talk to the other people. They want to talk to other people because they don't realize that talking to the outcasts and the burnouts and the losers are bad. They just, they're just very friendly people. But what their group that they're a part of calls them out on it. And then they don't want to feel like the outsider. Like whenever Regina would talk shit about them, about not liking something that they're doing or that they're wearing or saying wrong, like fetch, they don't like that. They don't want to be called out by Regina, so they don't do it. And then they kind of close themselves off to the other people. But if they had their way, they probably would just talk to everybody.
Well, I think one more than the other. I don't think
definitely.
Gretchen. I think
Not much Gretchen,
very much her identity is wrapped up in her family's money.
But I definitely think that Karen would probably talk to people.
Oh yeah, no, I think she would just be a part of any group and be happy to have friends. I don't think that she would necessarily care one way or the other. I think she developed caring about whether or not someone had money, whether or not someone looked a certain way.
Yeah.
Because the leader she's with now decided that. Exactly.
One character in this movie has become a meme, an icon. This is one of the most quotable movies in a long time, to the point that we quote it constantly. People quote it all the time. I'm pretty sure kids who've never seen it quote this movie not knowing what this movie,
where it came from or anything, yeah.
But this one is, you get 4, you go, Glen Coco, the whole Glen Coco thing. So there is an actor who plays him. You see him in a hot second. His name is David Reel. David Reel walked on set one day because he wanted to get free lunch and see, watch the filming, and was cast as Glen Coco. He is not actually in the cast list. Glen Coco is actually the Tina Fey's brother's best friend, her older brother, and he is a film editor in LA.
Okay.
Who people, when they meet him and they hear his name, still go, "You go, Glenn Coco," or if they know him, they say that to this day. So, because Tina Fey wanted to use real people's names because she felt that it was more realistic than making up names for people. But all names are made up, Tina.
That's
all
true.
names are
all
made up.
All names are made up.
So, but like I was saying, this is one of the most quotable movies.
Oh,
and,
yeah, it definitely is.
You know, that is so fetched. You know, stop trying to make that a thing. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Get
in, loser.
Get in, because that one is like, I believe it or not, I did not relate that to this movie because the first time it really dawned on me and it became like when it was starting to become a meme, it was the scene from the end of the first Avengers. I think it's the first Avengers movie, when they're all in Tony's red convertible and they're talking to Thor, and somebody wrote, "Get in, losers, we're doing science." You know? And so
it's just them playing off the Mean Girls. Yeah.
And I just honestly, I always relate it to that one meme that I saw like a bajillion years ago. But yeah, the "Get in, losers" on Wednesday, what was it? It was the first time he spoke to me was on October 3rd.
Yeah.
What it is today, October 3rd, you know? And it's so funny how that is such a big thing. When I was a Title I assistant, October 3rd fell on a Wednesday, and we got the whole department to wear pink on Wednesday, October 3rd. Yeah. And what was funny is because we were all wearing pink, I remember us walking through the halls, and one of the teachers was like, "Why are you all wearing pink? Did we miss out on something?" And we're like, "It's October 3rd." And they didn't get it.
Get in, losers.
Get in, losers. We're going to do Title I. But yeah, again, the her hair's so big, it's so full because it's full of secrets. And the other one that I think is funny as shit is, "Oh my God, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white." And I think that is adorable and so bad.
Well, so when Cady's initially introduced to the school, or the children in that school, she's the outsider, but she quickly becomes part of the plastics.
Yes.
And as she's going through the cafeteria the first time, she starts telling you who these people are based on the sections that they've put themselves in.
Yes, because Janice had created a map for her.
Right. So, but she's also applying the zoologist ideals, or like an anthropologist would.
Yes.
Looking at these different areas. And, you know, so as they're walking through the lunchroom, it's like, again, the nature documentary narrators, what you hear in the film in her head. It's kind of really accurate because as you go through, you see that the plastics sit at the top of the hierarchy. And then you have the jocks who occupy their own corner, and they're completely oblivious to everyone else, even though they're being obnoxious.
Yes.
And then you have the Asian nerds and the cool Asians, which have their own areas within the same area.
Yes.
You have the girls who eat their feelings.
I have one of those too.
Girls who don't eat anything.
I went through that phase.
The desperate wannabes. Now, my thing about the desperate wannabes is the desperate wannabes are actually a lot of people who are either disabled or non-conforming in some way.
Yes, and see, in reality, that would have been the table I would have been with, but
Right.
I would have probably tried to hang out with Janice and Damien too.
So my question is, on the desperate wannabes label, what were they desperately wanting to be? Just accepted as normal human beings?
Popular. It's all about popularity.
Yeah,
It's
but I
not
don't think they were looking for popularity so much as they weren't looking for anything. They just happened to be disabled.
No, so I know what you're saying. But in the high school mindset, we see that later on when they cut the holes in Regina's shirt and her bra's poking through. And then next day, all the girls have the shirts cut out with you see the bra poking through. And even you see the girl in the wheelchair has the same thing going on. They all have it. It is an act of popularity. You want to emulate the popular person. So they're wannabes because they want that notoriety. They want to
Sure,
be the
but
person.
every kid there wants that. So why is this table specifically the desperate one?
Do the popular Asians want that? Do the nerds want that? They may not want that. Not everybody wants it because they're okay with who they are. But if you don't feel comfortable in who you are, and like I said, teenage, that whole land is horrifying because you're going through hormones. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you want to be. You're expected to know.
Well, you're the teacher, and I haven't been in a school since 40-something years, so I'm going to disagree. And
I'm going to poke you.
Completely joking. You have the art freaks, and you have the burnouts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was with the stoners. I have to assume that's the burnouts.
Yes, that is the burnouts.
Yeah. And so they get named all these categories, and no one enforces it, but it is enforced because the nerds don't go to the jocks table out of fear of being pummeled.
Mm-hmm.
Because the jocks will mess up some nerds until the nerds start working out and mess them up.
Yes. Well, see, I wasn't even a nerd because I wasn't very good in school.
Here's my thing. Where's the gay table? There should have been a gay table.
Yeah, but, 2004, there should have been a gay table. When I was in high school, no, they were still hiding.
Because honestly...
there was one guy.
There would have been a gay table. I mean, there just would have been. There would have been a table that was mostly like...
Well, because...
LGBTQ.
They actually... in my high school... So the gay guys I knew were also in chorus, and they were also in the theater. So they they
would break off into those things.
Those would be their group. That would be their identifiers.
The art freaks.
I wished I was an art freak, but those were like the new wave, kind of what became like the goth emo kids. That was the group I really wanted to fit in with, but I was too busy trying to fit in with the rich kids, but I wanted to be those people.
Well, it's interesting to note that Janice and Damien have their own table, and it's outside all the other tables. So when Janice made this list, she put her table as non-labeled.
Yes.
It's intentionally defiant.
Yes. Except she does say that they are the greatest people you'll ever meet.
Well, that's Cady
saying that, yes.
About Janice and Damien, but not Janice, who sees herself as outside of this. Why? Because she walked away from the plastics.
Yes.
And we'll see that later on. So Cady she's going to go to the table with Janice and Damien. But on her way there, of course, Regina stops her and talks to her. And then asked her to sit down. Everybody wants to be accepted on some level.
Yes.
It is part of our natural response for safety.
Yes.
Is to be included in something.
And in high school, it's almost imperative that you find a group that you can relate to, because it is such a turbulent time in your life. Because again, the worst thing we do to kids is we expect them to go through all of these changes and then know what they want to be when they leave high school.
Oh, yeah.
It is not fair.
Well, she's told you're going to sit down and you're going to eat with us. You're going to join us at the table. It's not an option.
Yes.
And of course she does it because even as the protagonist, she is not outside being a child.
Yes.
She is still a child who is still malleable. And, well, Regina has that kind of power.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't think Regina would have if she had seen her with Janice and Damien first.
Right.
But she did not see them together. So she just sees the girl who she doesn't know.
Right.
But she turns everything she says around.
Yeah, well, she's sizing her up. I mean, because she doesn't know this girl. So she's trying to see if she's competition or food. And she decides pretty early on she's food.
Oh, definitely.
So Cady has become the prey.
And she's the piranha.
The piranha. So that is how it starts out.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not how it lasts for very long, because Cady becomes a plastic.
Yes.
Fairly early on.
And originally it's to so that she can infiltrate the plastics.
But at the start it's grudgingly.
Mm-hmm.
Because Regina just keeps wanting her around.
Yeah.
And then when Regina kisses the boy that Cady was interested in,
mm-hmm. then it becomes a vendetta.
It all very quickly escalates into revenge very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
This movie moves very quickly through these scenarios.
Yes.
And I honestly thought it was a longer movie than this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember it being longer, but it's because I'm adding stuff myself.
So one of I found to be unrealistic, but not completely unrealistic character, because I have met people like him, but they're just so few and far between in high school, is Aaron. Because he's a nice guy. But yeah. I don't think he would have talked to her if she had been hanging out with Janice and Damien and he saw that. Because he's a nice guy because she's part of Regina's group. And I have to, and like literally that's kind of where the conclusion I just literally came to, because I was going to say he's unrealistic because those guys who were on teams didn't talk to just anybody, at least not in my high school. I hung out with wrestlers because my best friend hung out. She was on the wrestling. She was a wrestling manager and everything. And I would go and hang out with her because sometimes she was my ride home.
Like Lou Albino?
Yeah, sort of like that, but without the rubber bands in the face, and a lot cuter because she was pretty. But I would hang out with her at the end of the day because she was my ride home. And so, I did get to meet the wrestlers, but that didn't change the fact that they still didn't really want to talk to me because I wasn't one of them. I didn't grow up in that town. I was there since 6th grade, and they still considered me an outsider. That's how much of a clique of a town this is. And the school I went to in our town, we had 3 high schools. And I always thought I was going to go to the one that was more of the middle class.
Right.
And so, and I really hate this so much, guys. And trust me, this is not me. This is the way it worked out. So we had a north, an east, and a south. We didn't have a west at the time. I don't know, maybe there was a west now, but there wasn't. There was an intermediate west.
We did not have an east of our elementary schools. We had a northwest and south, no east.
We had an east and west intermediate, but we had a north, east, and south high school.
I wonder if there's a correlation somewhere.
But the south high school was in the poorest part of town, and it had a higher people of color in that high
Ours
school.
Too.
East was the middle class white kids, and north was all the rich kids. Okay. I think I went to high school with maybe 2 black kids, and one of them was on the football team, and his name was Marcus. And I remember that because I thought he was adorable. But if I had even thought to bring him home, I would have been disowned by my racist family. So regardless, but he wouldn't have talked to me anyway because he was a football player. But yeah, exactly.
He didn't want you coming home.
Exactly. Because I was poor. And so that's the thing, is I always thought I was going to go to East. My mom thought I was going to go to East. But the way the districts were cut, I ended up going to Heroin High. And there's a lot of lawyers' kids, doctors' kids. They lived in McMansions all through that area. And then there were us wandering hopefuls who just didn't know where we fit in. And again, you are pushing all these kids together, and it was a nightmare. I mean, high school wasn't the worst time I ever had in my life, but there were moments where I just fucking dreaded going to school. It was just not a good time. So yeah, that school in that movie reminded me of my high school in that sense, because you have that huge, diverse group of people, you know, when it came,
Right.
except the color aspect, but just definitely the socioeconomic levels.
Yeah. Well, you see that as Cady is going through this, and as it quickly accelerates,
Mm-hmm.
so they go to a party because Regina invited them to a Halloween party,
Yes.
and they're all in costume. The girls the plastics
Mm-hmm.
dress sexy,
Mm-hmm.
and Cady, who is kind of interning as a plastic at the moment, is dressed as the corpse bride.
Ex-bride. Or
Ex-bride.
ex-wife is what she said.
Yeah. So an undead bride of some kind.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's got the fake teeth, the pallid complexion, all that. Oh, kitty cat. Sorry, our kitty just gave me a look and he wanted love.
He's sitting in my lap, but he's flipped his head backwards to watch Beth talk.
So she is at this party and she's not looking great,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's more authentic to being a fun person.
It's a high school costume.
Right.
Because even, I think when I was in high school, we were still dressing like kids.
Yeah.
We didn't start doing the sexy stuff till much later.
And Erin is there
Mm-hmm.
and she's trying to talk to him. She wants to have a conversation with him. But Regina takes him and she's kind of telling Cady that she's going to talk her up.
Yeah.
But it's really just Regina pulling Erin for herself.
Yeah.
Even though she has a boyfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regina has a boyfriend right now. A lot of like high school, because it is high school, antics of you're cheating on me and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that.
What's funny is like, when I was in high school, I don't know, did you guys have Halloween parties when you were in high school?
Okay, I cannot say that there weren't because surely there were.
Yeah.
I was just never invited to any.
Me either, but the group I hung. So one of I think the groups that were ignored in this movie is the hoodlums, and while I didn't hang out with them in school,
I think they're burnouts. They're part of the burnout
Nope,
subgroup.
not this group. I wasn't allowed to hang out with them in school because they were, you know, wrestlers and they were doing their own thing. But this was our neighborhood group of kids, and our neighborhood group of kids were hoodlums and pumpkin smashing, TPing, egging houses. That's the kind of level.
That kind of hoodlum. Gotcha.
Yeah. So we also would go trick-or-treating because in my town we have Mischief Night, which is the night that they do the Halloween parade. And then because we have this Halloween parade, which is massive, they have Halloween either the day before or the day after, depending on when Halloween falls.
Right.
So we would, when everyone's at the parade, that was when we would go around and do our deeds. And I'm not kidding. I was a part of it. I would dress in black and we'd run around the neighborhood and smash pumpkins because, you know, we were assholes. And, but that group is not mentioned, but we would actually go trick-or-treating. So I went trick-or-treating for like every year of high school. We still would go out and go trick-or-treating, dress in costume, get our candy.
We
weren't fucking around. We were getting our candy.
I had to work.
We had to work. I
worked from like 16. I mean, I was out of the house at 16.
Yeah. I mean, I worked too, but I didn't work during the school days. I wasn't allowed to work during school days. I can only work on the weekends.
Yeah, I worked at night after school.
Our oldest was born in 1994. I went trick-or-treating as an adult when he was a year old. So okay. I was 21 and I still went trick-or-treating.
Did you go trick-or-treating in California?
No, I did not go trick-or-treating in California. But what happened was we went trick-or-treating with the babies. I went with my parents. My baby sister is the same age as my son. We're not going to do the math right now. We're just going to deal with that right now. And we took the babies out trick-or-treating. And then my sister is 7 years younger than me. And she was going trick-or-treating, and my mom had asked me to go out with her and her friends so she didn't have to go out with her. She's 14. We never went out when my when I was 14, you didn't go with me. I went out with my friends. So I went out with her, but she dressed me up in I was a hippie. She dressed me up as a hippie because she had that's what she had that we could put together as a costume. And
just clothes.
Yeah, basically. And I went trick-or-treating with her and her friends, and they were smoking pot, and I was so mad that they were smoking pot, and they were 14 years old, and here I am, I'm a mom, and if I get caught, I'm going to get in so much trouble. I was like, but I broke this poor man's heart, and I've told you the story before. When we went trick-or-treating with the littles, he came out wearing a propeller, he had like a switch on his chest, and he had a big old propeller on his head, and he's like, guess what I am? And nobody could guess what he was, and he's like, I'm a ceiling fan. So later on that night when I went out with my sister and her friends, we went to the same house, and he comes out and he's like, guess what I am? And he flips the switch, and the propellers moved around slowly. And I said, oh, you're a ceiling fan. And he went, oh, yeah. And then I felt so bad. I hurt his feelings.
Because you cheated.
I didn't know. I wasn't supposed to know. I thought I was like, I thought he wanted us to guess. So yeah, I was trick-or-treating until I was 21.
Okay.
But I looked very young for my age.
But Regina was pulling Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And she kisses him. And then that's when I don't think Cady had a mechanism in place for being upset with people her own age.
No, I think living in an environment that she grew up in, it didn't prepare her for American teenagers.
I don't think it prepared her for her own peer group.
Oh, definitely not.
She's used to having peers who are older than her,
mm-hmm.
or who are of a different culture.
Yeah, which have different standards, different.
Right.
They're not going to be going out and hooking up with your friends.
Or they might, but you don't know about it because they're not inviting you along.
Yeah.
So I think that for her, it was about, not understanding why this happened. And that probably hurt her more than the action itself.
Probably.
So she rushes over to Janice
mm-hmm.
and Damien, and she says, let's get revenge.
Yeah, so now she's all in it, ready to do this.
Yeah, and Janice is like, yeah, this is our time. We're going to do this. And she's very excited about revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Janice has been waiting a long time for just this sort of thing to come up.
Yes.
She sees her chance to kind of manipulate herself as well, Cady,
mm-hmm.
into doing her bidding.
Yes.
Cady wants to do it, but it's also part of Janice's.
Oh, yeah. Janice is kind of manipulative as well.
Yeah. And well, I think that's, it comes from being a plastic.
I was going to say she's an ex-plastic, so she's got that natural ability.
She's an ex-parrot.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm Monty Python that one. So, Cady is going to help, destroy the plastics, mainly Regina.
I think the one of the saddest things about her becoming a plastic is Cady she had a very healthy mentality. Cady came from a healthy upbringing and a very well-rounded mentality. And then when she goes to Regina's house for the first time, and these are beautiful girls. They have perfect bodies. And they're looking at themselves in the mirror and they're finding fault in themselves. And they look at Cady and trying to get her to do that too. And she's like, I have bad breath in the morning. And they're like, ew. It's like she has to start trying to tear herself apart to be a part of them.
But that's the entire thing. That's the thing that I never cared for. And we can go into that.
Mm-hmm.
That particular scene where Amy Poehler is the mom, who is obviously pushing this whole scenario because she's living vicariously through Regina.
Yes.
So Regina didn't start out this way.
No.
She developed this from generational trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Her mom may seem nice, but honestly, she's a mean girl from the past,
Mm-hmm.
pushing this onto her daughter.
Yes, and she most likely married well. And I mean, her boobs are fake. She had to pin like a little like Vienna sausage or something in her shirt to get the chihuahua to bite on her at her boob.
Yeah, you mean for the film?
Yeah,
yes,
for the film, not
the
really.
Character.
Yeah, no,
Not
for
the
the scene where the
character doing
chihuahua's chewing on her
The way you
boob.
said it, it sounded like the
Sorry.
character was. So yeah, I mean, this is, not good for any of the girls. And she is seeing it as, well, they're tearing themselves down, and that's what they are doing, because the plastics in this, to me, represent what cis girls become cis women who carry water for men.
Mm-hmm.
So when these girls grow up, they're growing into the same women who will do all the labor for men.
Mm-hmm.
They will be the ones who are subservient to men because they never learned anything different. They were indoctrinated into this patriarchal ideal of be pretty, be this way specifically,
Mm-hmm.
catch a man.
Oh yeah, the girls who go to college just to meet a boy, to find a husband, or even the. But yeah, they're also, the plastics is a play on the whole Barbie. They're fake. They're not real, but they are this Stepford wives. Yeah, they're there to not have much of an opinion, but they're also the ones who are going to say, I don't believe in feminism because I want a man to hold a door open for me. Okay, but that's not feminism. That's not the same thing. You can have somebody hold a door open for you because that's just a kindness,
right,
and has nothing to do with feminism.
I wanted to highlight this particular part of it because while you have 3 plastics,
Mm-hmm.
you have a 4th member here who is Cady, who is your protagonist. And when she comes in to this room and takes the drink,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, is this alcohol, alcoholic or not? And she's like, oh no, I wouldn't do that unless you want some.
Yeah. Because I'd rather you drink in the house than not,
It is really kind of the beginning of watching Cady, this person who is an individual, lose herself into the plastics.
Yes.
So you're watching in real time someone losing what makes a soul.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm trying to highlight. So these women are all about, these girls are all about replicating what men want,
Mm-hmm.
what the patriarchy wants of them.
Yes.
And you have this individual thinker who, let's say she's going to college and she's going to become a lawyer, but instead she just went there to meet a guy, abandons her law degree to get married and have children.
Yeah, because Cady is really good at math, and she literally starts to fail just to get Aaron's attention.
Exactly.
And she sabotages herself. It's kind of disturbing in a way to make yourself less than. It's almost like a metaphor of how we have to make ourselves small. Women should be small. When you're on the bus and the guy's spreading, no, your nuts aren't that big. Fucking move your goddamn leg, because I don't need to be that small so that you can to take up that much space. Men do not need to take up that much space, but she's doing it even with her brain.
The irony in the end is that she didn't have to do that for him because Aaron was perfectly fine with her being smart.
Yeah, but
she didn't know that.
No, she didn't.
She thought the expectation was there because she doesn't know this culture or this society well enough to know what to expect. And she's only got the really unreliable narrator for Cady is Regina.
Oh, yeah, because Regina's manipulating the narration for her and then turning around and saying to Aaron that she's, obsessed with him and all of the, twisting Cady in Aaron's eyes in a way. But, Cady doesn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So that's why we have Mrs. Norbury, or Miss Norbury, because she's divorced, who is kind of the adult in the room at any given moment, who is telling her she's better than this.
Oh, yeah.
As she becomes more plastic, Miss Norbury becomes more present in the moment.
Yes.
And she still gets burned.
Yeah, because she's trying to help her, but Cady just becomes, the typical teenager and just starts getting annoyed by her, telling her, this is my life and, I don't need to do I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not that smart. She's teenaging
she's really
it.
she's really like going into the bit.
Yeah.
And she is really losing herself.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that her parents are really starting to notice it, even though they're barely in this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point where in the movie where they are angry at her. And this is after she had her party.
Yeah.
And didn't invite Regina.
And a lot of this, we went through this with our youngest, who would, she had her cliques of friends, and then her best friend would be mad at her, and she would be, granted, she had other issues going on, but we would always try to explain to her that this is not real life.
Yeah.
And while she is still friends with her best friend, sometimes I'm like, just, what she's like. And you've known all these years what she's like.
Yeah, you expand your horizons as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
You are supposed to see things on a broader spectrum.
Yes.
And not to contain everything. High school is like having high pressure gas in a can.
Yeah, it's very insular. Yeah.
Yeah, it's contained, but it's very dangerous.
Oh, yes. Very
But
volatile.
as you get older, the container gets bigger with the same amount of gas as a volume.
Yes.
And you find equilibrium. I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
It's funny because, I am obviously older now, and I look at myself, I look at my face in the mirror, and I'm like, I hate my wrinkles, God, my pores, you could drive a truck through them, and da-da-da-da-da, because, society has made me feel this way about myself, but also, you know what, I'm gonna slap on some SPF moisturizer and some eyeliner and call it a day, and go to work, go out in public. Oh, hell, I'll wear pajama pants out in public. I slept in this shirt. We went food shopping. I wore this shirt out in public. And, hell, I slept in this shirt for the past couple of days. But even now, I will go, but I won't wear makeup or whatever. And when I was in high school, God, no. I would get up an hour early, do my hair, do my makeup. Even when I was in my burnout phase of wearing a black trench coat every day and a daisy in my hair, because that was my look, I still made sure my makeup was on point and my, hair was done a certain way. And then I got really into my feels because I started feeling like I actually was pretty. So I started dyeing my hair, and I had it permed, and I'd have to make, things that even now I'm like, as much as I color my hair, I don't want to have to bother with my hair every day. I'll go through a phase of curling my hair, but even then, if I can do it every other day,
I get that.
Yeah, so it's funny how things that matter when you are younger just don't.
Well, it's kind of like when trans women come out, a lot of us are older, but we have almost a second childhood.
Yeah.
And that is what I did. I way overdid it. I just overshot feminism. And
there were times where you would be like, you should do this and you should do that. And I wanted to say to you, and I would I knew in my heart it was a mean thing to say, so I never would say it. But there were times where I would be like, I have been girling all my life, I know, but not because I knew, but because I had somebody who showed me. And so I knew it was an unfair
I was learning new
response.
things and being excited about those new things.
And I realized that, but sometimes it would be like I would take it as you were telling me how to be a girl, and I would be like, but I wasn't taking it for what it was meant to be, and that's why
I was just trying to share with you the things I learned. But
I know.
But one of the aspect I was talking about was actually going out.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we went out somewhere, I would do my makeup. I would make sure everything was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely perfect. I'd way overdo everything. I didn't know much about makeup, so it was bad. It was worse than it is now, and I do less.
Mm-hmm.
But when we went out and stuff, I felt confident.
Yeah.
Because those expectations were placed upon women in this society.
Oh, yeah.
And I was fitting that expectation.
I would not have even had the fraction of confidence that I had, because I didn't have much. I had such low self-esteem when I was in high school. But I would not have even been able to leave the house if I did not overcompensate with my makeup and my hair and everything.
But see, I learned over time, because I've been out for a while now, over several years, I learned to calm the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, for a while there, I wasn't even wearing makeup when we went out.
Yeah.
Until the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the aftermath of the hurricane, when we didn't have power, no one had power.
Mm-hmm.
We had to get cash. We had no credit system. Nothing was working in this area. And we went to the store. It was the first time we'd gone to the store. And I had no makeup on. I was obviously wearing, my clothes, which is, they're
women's clothes.
They're feminine clothes. Mm-hmm. With the bra straps and everything else.
Yeah, off the shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, it's not unusual. But I was like everyone else in the store, not wearing makeup because you couldn't see to put anything on. There was
barely even shower.
Right. So no one was wearing makeup.
We were going to my classroom because I had a shower in my classroom and the school had water to take a shower.
So yeah, I didn't have makeup on. No one else did either. And yet, when we go into the store, out of nowhere, this woman comes up and starts telling me, and see, I'm autistic, so I don't understand people. I don't understand when they're saying something, if they're being, I don't know the difference between irony, snark.
She was being honest, but she was very guileless about what she was saying. And I don't think her intention, she didn't have like the tone of her voice. She didn't seem like she was being intentionally a dick. But I almost took the bitch down.
She thought I looked like Boy George.
She's like, I knew you looked like somebody.
Now, honestly, I do not see it.
I don't either.
Even in like facial. No. I don't have the enlarged nose.
Your hair was dark at the time, and there was nothing about you. You had an off-the-shoulder shirt. That was it.
Yeah, anyway, so she, that stunned me. And ever since then, I have a lot more confidence than I did before. Mm-hmm. But there's the one thing I don't do is I don't go out into public without my makeup on.
Yeah.
Because it's too dangerous now to be pointed out as Boy George.
Yes.
And so even, like, I don't even want to be compared to a gay man. I definitely don't want that. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not a gay man. But either one of those things could get me killed.
Yeah.
Or get you harmed, or anyone with me. And I don't want that. It's dangerous enough, so I'm trying to project the thing everyone expects.
Yeah.
The difference is I'm not losing myself like Cady was.
Definitely.
It reinforces who I am. What she's becoming is detracting from who she is. Mm-hmm. And who she does eventually fight back to getting again.
Yes, become.
She finds herself again, which is funny because everyone in this film changes.
Yes.
into a better version of themselves, except for the pedophile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that was just...
And Cady changes back to herself.
Yes.
Which is kind of funny because she was already the person she was meant to be.
Yeah, because again, she had the benefit of growing up in what I would consider a healthy environment. While I do not necessarily think that homeschooling is the best for every child, her parents were, the intelligent academics who raised her in a natural, hands-on environment and encouraged her to be who she is. So yeah, she had a very healthy outlook.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, high school in America, and I'm assuming it's like this in other places, but I know American high schools, there's a problem. And we have these kids going to school thinking that they are adults, and they are raised to believe that they are adults when their brains are not done developing. And we allow for them to have attitudes and personalities. And it's not, always encouraged my children to be their true selves, be who you want to be good. And we don't always teach our children that. And I say we in the sense of parents who are indifferent because, well, it's high school and they're just going to have to fight it out and become, no. We have children who have mental health issues and it's not being addressed. We have children who are abused and it's not being addressed. And we're expecting teachers to be mental health people, and we are not mental health specialists. And then we wonder why they hurt each other, why they torment each other, or why they have such low self-esteem, or they have these cliques, instead of just raising them to understand that kindness and working together and helping the ones who need the help.
Well, I think a lot of times it's a lot like it's kind of like the adults or the parents.
Mm-hmm.
They view their children as property.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
So when they're dropping them off at school, or they just let them go to school,
mm-hmm.
It's like they're just parking their car in the car park.
Yeah.
And then someone watches them and they don't have to think about them for 6 or 8 hours.
Yeah, there's the ones who send them off to school going, you will be a good representative for our family. And then there's the ones who are like, you're going to school because the government is making me send you to school.
Yeah.
And then, the ones whose parents are go and learn and be a better human being. And unfortunately, our children who we tell to go and be better human beings are the ones who get treated like shit because of the ones whose parents don't care because they don't know how to behave. Bullies are created by bullies.
Yeah, it's generational trauma.
Yes.
That is where it comes from.
And it's usually the ones whose parents don't care. And it's either the ones who are, go represent us, or we just government made.
Or they don't pay attention to them at all. But Miss Norbury is kind of the moral center.
Mm-hmm.
She's the self-aware, burned-out math teacher.
Yeah.
She is aware of how foolish she is for inserting herself in these children's lives at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, she has to remind them that you're children and that she's the adult in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it gets overlooked a lot of times, but I like having the foil there for these children who get wrapped up in this world, because when you're watching this as a bunch of children who are adulting.
Mm-hmm.
Their version of adulting. And you forget, much like watching the Peanuts cartoons or something like that, or Scooby-Doo, you don't see the adults as anything but the bad guys or background characters.
Yeah.
So it's easy to forget that they're children and they aren't fully developed, and therefore adults need to be present somewhere. Tim Meadows, playing the principal, he has to stop things. when the burn book goes down, okay,
Yes.
when the burn book explodes, because Regina is going to get back at Cady.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cady did something pretty spectacular, I think. It's the most underhanded thing in the film, and a
Yes.
lot of things underhanded happen.
Yes.
But what she does is she hit Regina exactly in the feels.
And her insecurity.
Her insecurity about her weight.
She wants to lose 3 pounds.
Which has been happening since the movie started.
Yes.
But she's been giving her these protein bars, which are made specifically to bulk up underprivileged children and weightlifters, apparently.
And she told her she's...
athletes.
And, she told her that carbs were good.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I am on an all-carb diet.
Yeah, so she's eating, is butter a carb? Yes, it's a carb.
It's a carb. Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, so she's gaining weight. She doesn't understand why. And Cady explains, because you're losing all your fat. Therefore, you're just holding water. And then once that goes away, you'll be thin.
Yep.
So it's really, insidious.
Definitely.
And Regina didn't bother looking any of this up.
No.
Because if you use cell phones or the internet, it breaks your movie.
It does. Also, to look up information might have made her be perceived as somebody who is nerdy enough to do research.
Except at night when she's by herself, she has all the time in the world to use her phone.
Yeah, but then she would know it.
So for me, it's just you have to suspend, the disbelief because cell phones, information that's readily available at your fingertips will break your movie.
Definitely.
In many cases. But for this, it is about Regina gaining weight, and she loses her mind when she finds out from her boyfriend, not the Aaron boyfriend that she's wanting, that he eats those bars to gain weight.
Mm-hmm.
And she realizes that Cady has royally fucked her over this entire movie. I mean, the whole time they've been friends.
Yeah.
Quote, unquote, friends. And she screams her way to her house. And then
screams through the book.
Right. She opens the burn book, screaming through it. And she cuts a picture in half of her and Cady.
Mm-hmm.
And she pastes her own photo into the book.
After writing a whole torrent of bullshit about, the person you think she's talking about.
Being a horrible slut.
Yeah, and you think she's talking about Cady until she slaps that picture in there, and it's like, oh, I see. That's devious.
Which I think is actually a brilliant moment in which she's talking about Cady, but she's also projecting herself. Yep. And then she puts herself in it. It's a meta. It's a meta realization.
Yeah, and it's devious, and it just shows you that even though Regina comes off as, she is very calculating and, again, intelligent, that is an intelligent move. That is an abstract thought to do what she did.
Yeah, but she's not realizing that she just said the things about her because she's actually angry with herself.
Yes.
So I think it's a pretty brilliant part to this movie.
Oh, definitely.
And then, of course, the book explodes. And she's ready with copies of the book that she throws all over the school so that everyone knows. In the burn book, there's a bunch of things about maybe 30 or 40 people. And it has vile things about them in some way. And those get spread throughout the school while Tim, the principal, is... It's not Tim.
No,
I forget the character's
Mr.
name. Duval is talking to Cady and Jesus Christ, Gretchen
and Karen.
Karen, yes. Sorry, I couldn't remember Karen's name. For some reason, I want it to be more than just Karen.
Than Karen, yeah.
So I think that, during the time that he's talking to them, she's walked around very maliciously and she's got she's centered. she seems very calm.
Oh, yeah.
Like this act of hers is not just going to explode for Cady. It's going to destroy the plastics. There's no way around that.
She knows that. And she knows that she's about to destroy everything she's created, but she's also okay with it.
Yeah. This is the fuck it and watch the world burn scenario.
Yep. I'm going to take you down with me if I'm going down.
So, yeah, I mean, everybody finds out everything that the plastics have been saying about them. Mainly Regina, but they all think it is Cady.
And, well, Miss Norbury, raise your hand if you have been personally...
attacked by Regina.
Yeah, by Regina George. And they all raised their hand. And it's like...
Even the principal.
Yes. Most of the teachers sitting there. So, yeah, she's a bitch. I mean, the girl's got... I mean, you don't get that mean for no reason. I mean, she's got her parents' master bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself tells you, I've met those students. I have met them, and they are never fun to work with.
But yeah, so Cady is burned.
Mm-hmm.
She's on the burn list, the burn notice.
Yes. Ha ha ha.
And she is not really shunned, but people are quiet when she enters the room.
Yes. And she's like, have you ever had somebody stop talking when you enter a room? I had that happen to me, and it was the whole the whole junior class.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's not just the people, it is also her friends. So Damien and
Janice
both are mad at her.
Yeah.
First of all, Regina's mad, or not Regina, damn it. Janice is mad because Cady skipped out on her art show.
Yes. Which she wouldn't have been able to go anyway, but she did get out of going with her parents to Madison and then still went and held a party.
So she was already mad about that because she actually became plastic.
Yeah. And then also she quoted Janice, unintentionally quoted Janice, and then that got put into the burn book about Damien being too gay to exist.
Right, which is something that was very personal to Janice, so they all knew that she had to have told them.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they all kind of have this come to Jesus meeting with Tina Fey and Mr. Duvall, and I love how he sets off the fire alarm to get their attention, but when they walk into the gym, that must be the longest walk to the gym because they were all dry.
Yeah, they were all dry.
There's a lot of...
little bit of flat hair, but not much.
Yeah, there's a lot of continuity errors in this movie, but that's okay. Like Tina Fey's pants changing color.
Right.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, it's again, it's got some of the most memorable quotes in this scene too, where, the girl who's talking about how she wants to bake a cake and with rainbows for everybody. She doesn't even go to this school. I just have a lot of feelings.
Right. And then Gretchen, who when she gets up to give her apology, she's like, I'm rich. And
you're all jealous.
And you're all jealous. And then she does the fall. Yeah. And they all let her go. So it's just Karen standing there, not realizing everyone else had stepped away.
Yeah.
And then they both get, she crushes Karen.
Yeah.
And Karen's just adoring and stuff. So it didn't even enter her head that other people would step away.
Oh, yeah. Because doesn't have that thought in her head. I don't know what is in her head, but it's not much. Yeah. And like, even Janice's apology, or not apology per se, but she sums up the movie in her quote unquote apology about, how she has a friend who was new, and y'all know Cady, and we kind of, as a joke wanted to get her, she became friends with the plastics and to get some inside information so we could laugh about it. But then it became serious, and we got Regina to eat those fattening health bars, and we gave her foot cream for her face soap and things like that. And then she's like, well, maybe, I'm obsessed with you because I'm a lesbian. And then she throws herself off and then does the trust fall. Because at that point, she's basically building up the audience of other junior girls to rally with her. Like, I did this because, and we did this, and let's look at all the things we did to Regina. So you can all be like proud of us. It's again, that was the moment when I watched this the first time where I was like, God, I wish I had her balls really to just come out there and be her genuine self and admit, oh yeah, we fucked with her. We fucked with her big time. And I don't care because she pissed me off.
It reminds me of the Pink song about picking a fight.
I know.
But I think that Janice would have benefited from therapy more than revenge. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she does kind of get some catharsis from this whole thing. Because in the end, Janice is the one that set this up. While it got away from her, because, Cady kind of went
rogue.
Yeah, she went rogue. I think that Janice is the one who benefits from all of this. Mm-hmm. No matter who gets hurt, she benefited.
Oh, yeah.
So in a way, Janice is still the mean girl.
And they knew that when she had gone rogue because she's like, oh, yeah, I've got some Regina business tonight. And they're like, we have nothing planned. Oh, yeah. No. I just something I wanted to do on my own. So, I mean, yeah, they knew that's when they were losing her. It's gotten too big.
It's just, that Cady gets to find herself again.
Yes. And
Janice gets to have some closure on what should have been just two friends growing apart, but it became a case of revenge for Regina. Mm-hmm. And then Janice had to get revenge.
Yes. Basically. And then, Cady and Regina have their shout out about all the shit that they did to each other. And Regina gets run over by a bus, which is kind of foreshadowed in the very beginning when Cady is walking to the school and almost gets hit by a bus. Those buses drive fast, man. And a bus doesn't go any faster than 45 miles an hour. And why are they going so fast in front of a school? And how did they not see her standing there?
How'd they not hear the bus coming?
Yeah, really, because those things are loud because they're usually old and they're maintained as well as they can afford to maintain them.
Yeah. But I mean, this is definitely a movie about cruelty being currency. Mm-hmm. Seems to be the theme of it. And everybody wants to be the cool kid. Mm-hmm. I don't think everybody wants to be the cruel kid.
No, I agree. And honestly, I'm kind of sad that we didn't decide to do Clueless right after this because there's a lot of similar themes, even though Clueless is a totally different side of popularity.
I think Clueless has a lot more casual cruelty.
Definitely, but also
it's not a thought out projected cruelty.
Yeah.
So much as it's in the moment.
So Cher is almost like the anti-Regina because she's got the plastic life, but she's got a kind heart.
Yeah, we should do that movie in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on the list.
It is on the list.
TM.
I just didn't think, TM. I just didn't think about doing that one right after this, but we probably should have. It would have been funny.
I mean, we can't because you just named it. We could have.
We could have, but I also don't have clues for it. And I have clues for our next movie.
Do you want to do clues for it and we can do the next one?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, we'll stick with what we're doing.
Okay.
We need a little bit of an up and a down and a side to side and shake that shimmy.
It's not like we're not going to come back to this while we're talking about Clueless.
To the yes. You know why I thought of Clueless? Is because the scene when Cady is... when she's like first becoming plastic and she's sitting behind Aaron in the classroom, it made me think of the scene in Clueless when I think she drops a pen or something and the guy picks it up and he looks at her shoes.
Yeah.
And her mules. And it's like, I just like, for some reason, I equate those two scenes.
Yeah, no,
as mirrors. Yeah.
So just so you know, this film was shot in Toronto. posing as Chicago.
Nice.
And I think it's because they have O's at the end.
Mm.
No, it's because Canada's cheaper to film in, and it has nicer locations.
Well, yes. And now I've got the Joe song in my head.
That's true. I told you about Daniel Frazese, who came out in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And who's become, we talked about how he's become a much better person.
Yeah, he's
over
awesome.
time for himself.
Oh, definitely.
Like he's really come into his own. Lacey, who has taken That Is So Fetch into iconery on accident, because it was never supposed to be a thing, but it became a thing because it's not a thing.
Exactly.
And you have to appreciate the fact that Gretchen, as single-minded as she is about her identity as her father,
Mm-hmm.
actually gets the iconery of That's So Fetch.
Mm-hmm. She gets to make it a thing.
So her father's like, that's the fetch girl. My daughter's the fetch
girl. And my dad invented toaster strudels. I only have one rich girl voice, guys, so that unfortunately it's always going to sound a little bit like Alexis.
But no, it's going to be Tenifer.
Tenifer. Oh, yes, Tenifer from Parks and Rec, yes.
Yeah. So the Jingle Bell Rock performance, I'm just giving you the things I had gathered, was filmed on a cold set because it's freaking Canada. And the actresses were reportedly freezing inside their tiny Santa outfits.
Oh, I bet.
And they still hit every mark, and they delivered.
Because they wanted to get back where it was warm.
Yeah. It's also what hypothermia looks like.
Yes.
You know, so if you want to know what that looks like, look at them. I don't know if they had to edit out the breath, the cloudy breath. Yeah. And the production team actually debated on how long to shoot the bus scene. Specifically, how graphic to make Regina's impact.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And I think they nailed it.
Oh, yeah.
It is exactly the right look away. So it cuts away at just the right moment. It happens so very quickly. It is stunning. It takes you... What it did is it took Cady out of the argument.
Mm-hmm.
It took her completely out of the... She forgot to be mad in the moment that happened. And that allowed space for everyone.
Yes.
If they just had the argument, it never would have stopped.
And also it was very, I mean, obviously that happened later in after the movie was done, but it's repeated in Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Gina.
Yeah.
When she gets hit by the bus.
But the stunt was a real bus, and it had a real stunt team, and Rachel McAdams trained for weeks to do this.
Okay.
So it was not a fake bus or something like that.
Okay.
Tina Fey said that Miss Norbury was inspired by actual teachers she had growing up.
Mm-hmm.
The ones who tried to care in a system that made caring deeply inconvenient.
Tell me about it, sister.
So we appreciate Miss Norbury or whoever, all the teachers who actually existed, and especially the ones who were publicly accused of selling drugs at a school assembly.
That was not me.
So how do you feel about the movie now?
So, after years of introspection and working on my self-esteem and who I used to be compared to who I am now, and how few fucks I have to give about what other people think about me, I still love this movie because it does remind me of the kid I used to be and how I am very little like that person. I mean, I'm still, let's put it this way, it's not that I'm not like that person. I am that person before they tried to be other people. And so, yeah, I love this movie. I love the quotes. I still have strong feelings about it. I still feel it is a masterpiece in high school And believe it or not, to me, it is realistic. I maybe it's not realistic for people who had different experiences in high school, but for me, it's very realistic. It's like amplified, but it's definitely, so I appreciate it.
Okay, that's valid. For me, it's changed somewhat. I think while I saw it as a deeper movie then, I see it as less deep now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine.
Yes.
Because it doesn't take away from the things that I got from it. What I see is that we inserted a lot of things. We made it a lot deeper to us when we needed it to be deeper.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really need that now because I'm much older now. I'm much more self-assured of who I am as a woman who is trans. I don't have a lot of the insecurities I had starting out,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I was in hiding in the closet, that jail cell that we call a closet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't have to create these deep wells to explain my feelings within the movie.
Yes.
Now I can just look at it and say, this is a fun movie that I enjoyed. And what I get from the movie, the emotions that I get are, there's a lot of cringe. And that's good because cringe is sometimes fun. And this is a fun movie. But I get to kind of pretend I'm in high school as a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And that these are going to be the things I encounter. And I get to follow Cady in that aspect.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how the movie feels to me now. Is it's a nostalgia that I never got to have.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, I get that. That's valid. It's time for the stitch count. We're going to run this film through the Castellini test, the inclusivity and gaze lens, and the Tremors gold standard to see how well it holds together. We will tally it up and talk through where it shines or frays and decide whether the story actually makes something warm and comfortable or if it falls apart at the seams. Let the count begin. Let's count them stitches, bitches.
Okay, Castellini test. There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each.
Okay. Well, hell, the whole cast. I mean, there's very few men in this cast.
It's true.
There's
And
like
there was a lot of talking.
There are 4 named male characters.
Yeah, and none of them get spotlighted.
No.
Okay. Those characters must have a conversation, not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
Which happens because Cady talks with Janice about the plastics. They talk about the cliques. Yes, while eventually they do talk about relationships, it is not the main focus. It is about the cliques and the popularity of the school, within the school.
Well, we have the teachers talking to the students. We have a lot of things that have nothing to do with relationships.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it definitely, I think it passes that.
At least one of the women has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it could not reach the same ending.
If Cady wasn't there, then none of this would have mattered. They would have just kept keeping on.
It's true, because it was status quoing, despite the fact that Janice wanted revenge on Regina. She wasn't getting it without Cady, because Cady was the reason she even stepped up.
And if we didn't have a Regina, there might have been plastics, but it would have been probably run by Janice.
The whole thing is it wouldn't have exploded in the end.
No, none of this would have come to fruition.
In the end, you get people who are realizing themselves rather than the groups they identify with.
Exactly.
That would not have happened if this catharsis of the burn book explosion hadn't happened.
Yes. So, yes, it passes that as well.
The Castellini test is passed.
Yes.
Feminism exists in the film. All right, so let's go with inclusivity and gaze.
Okay.
The score of 0 to 1 for each one is on and off, or on or off. And it's possibility of 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is racial diversity with agency, not just background.
So that's hard. Because there is the DJ,
Kenny
G, and they do have people of color and nationality, but they are background characters.
I don't know. Kenny G has a
I mean, he
forefront.
does. Actually, he does have a forefront. You're right. Everybody else's background.
I'm not going to say there's a large diversity because there just really isn't.
No, there really isn't. But they are there. They're present.
They have agency.
Yes, and there is a presence in like I said, different culture, different nationalities, race, ability.
Most of them are background, but I have to say that Kenny G is what we're calling him, I guess, is not background, and he does have agency.
Yes, he does.
Beyond white people, which I think works.
Yes.
So we're going to give that a 1.
Yes.
Now we have LGBTQ presence that isn't a punchline or tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Okay, well, Damien and himself, while it's a punchline in the sense that Janice teases him because it's her joke with him, he is gay. His character is gay. And it's in the Burn book, but nobody else makes fun of him for being gay. It's just Janice and him having their little, BFF kind of poking at each other thing.
Okay, I can give you that because no one is actively making fun of him for being gay.
No. Now with Janice, it is a poke at her, even though she's straight, we assume.
The lesbian.
It is a poke at her, but it's not
label.
A joke.
Yeah.
It's it's not a
kind of the tragedy.
It's a tragedy. Yeah, it's like it's used against her as a weapon.
Right.
So it's not a joke, but again, it's coming from the bad girl or the bad guy in the video.
I think it honestly would have made more sense for her to actually be gay and to own up to it.
Oh, I agree.
But it's okay that you're not gay and own up to that without being afraid of being labeled gay because it's bad somehow.
Yes.
So I'll say it gets the point.
And also high school. It's how it is in high school because, again, vicious little vipers who treat each other like shit. So
except nobody makes fun of Damien for being gay.
No,
so
except his best friend, and that's because, best friends fuck with each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm giving it that point as well.
Okay. Number 3, age, body type, or disability treated with dignity.
So, again, if you exclude the fact that, yes, they are being made fun of, but that is the whole plot of the movie is the plastics being shit to people, then I would say no, because even when, let's like at the end, when Cady gets the crown, she is praising she tells the heavier girl that she's beautiful, and she, tells the girl in the wheelchair that she must have worked really hard to look, so she's giving them acknowledgement for being different, and they are present.
Okay, so the age thing for me is that the kids automatically assume the teachers are not at all up on what's happening.
Oh yeah, and parents and
right.
Yeah.
Body type definitely gets treated. None of these are without dignity. I'm saying they get.
Oh yeah.
Each of these are addressed in the movie.
Yes, they do.
Body type is addressed.
Yes.
It is a huge part of this. Age is a huge part of this. Also, disability is a huge part, even though it's kind of background. So I want to mention the 2 characters that are kind of prominent.
Mm-hmm.
We have Olympia Lucas, who is the actress, playing Jessica Lopez, who is one of the plastic adjacents. And she's in the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the girls that orbits the plastic's social gravity.
Yeah, this is the wannabe.
The wannabes. She is present. She is visible. But the film doesn't give her a whole lot to do during this time except to be present.
No, and other than her not being a plastic, nobody makes fun of her at all. Like nobody actively says anything about her.
But she gets to go up on the stage and dive off.
She does.
So she gets to actually voice her issue.
Yes.
And I think that's agency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And we also have Jackie Chamberlain, who is the, quote, shortest girl in the film, as Giselle Segro, or I don't know how to say that last name, SGRO.
I'm not sure.
I think it's
Probably
Greek.
Maybe.
Sounds Greek. Occupies similar territory here, like in the cafeteria, in the hallways. They kind of fill in the social world.
Oh wait, is she the one that
is right next to her most of the time?
But she's the one who Damien is that the one who Damien says is Danny DeVito, I love your work.
No.
Okay.
No, that's a
now
different
that
person.
is, and now,
that's a short girl, not the shortest girl.
Okay. Well, he does, do that, which is kind of a shitty thing, but he's also not one. He wants to be in the girls' bathroom and talk to the girls.
Exactly.
So it wasn't really him being a dick so much as it was just trying to get the girl out of there. I'm going to give him a pass on that one.
Right,
it's probably wrong, though.
Chamberlain, who is bringing presence to that role in the script, doesn't spend much time on it either.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of these characters or neither one of these actresses are being treated without dignity, but they are a focal point of the movie for the wannabe adjacents.
Yes.
So, but we can give it a point because I don't think anyone's being treated badly.
No.
They're just not being treated.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just wanted to make it known that these were two human beings,
yes.
two people. They are actresses, and I gave you their names.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be said because relegating them to background when they're featured prominently in several scenes,
yes,
seems wrong.
No, you're right. And while this is a movie about people being written and treated differently, because the burn book, they're writing about them and talking shit about them, it is by these superficial assholes who are doing it, and that's the whole point, is basically breaking that all down, and then at the end with Cady telling them that none of that matters.
Right.
And the camera gaze, what do you think?
Is it relentlessly sexualized or punitive?
Only with the plastics.
I don't think it is relentless. I think it's
not relentlessly.
The gaze isn't sexualized. It is there to highlight that as an aspect of the film. It's not. I'm trying to think of how to say it.
It's not. It's to point out really how shallow those girls are, because when they do, like with Halloween costumes,
because the guys aren't following them around trying to have sex with them. They have sex with guys.
Yes. And like with the girls, when Cady's explaining about how Halloween is just lingerie and animal ears, that's exactly how they dress with, and their clothing is more revealing, but they're trying to wear the higher fashion casual clothing of the time period. So it is more skimpy crop tops and short skirts, but nobody is sexualizing them. They are wearing
they're wearing
their
what
style.
They want to wear.
Yeah, they're empowering, who they are. And again, Regina's mom, she's wearing the juicy sweatpants and the low cut shirt and her fake boobs.
Which I think is funny because I think she wears those same pants on
Parks and Rec. So I mean, it is, the time, and she's trying to live vicariously. So they are seeing these grown women who are dressing this way. So what, how you only know what you know. And that's what they think is, how they're supposed to be.
I don't think the camera gaze is trying to present sexualized aspects of the children. It's showing that the children have a sexual identity.
Oh yeah, it's not following them, it's not focusing on their midriff, it's not like it's not sexualizing them for the audience.
So I think this gets a 1.
Okay.
So how many we have on that? 4?
4.
Okay.
This is our first movie that we've had all of them.
I know,
in a while.
And we've got 1 for
our Castellini.
Right. So let's look at the Tremors Index. And that has 4
possible points.
4 levels.
Mm-hmm.
Below trimmers, fails the basics. You get no points for that.
Nope.
Approaches trimmers, partial competence. Trimmers adjacent, which is solid respectful. Trimmers level, which is the gold standard, and exceeds trimmers. So what do you think?
So I don't want to put it on Tremors level, but I think it's Tremors level. So yes, it is definitely Tremors adjacent because it does have, problem solving matters, and the diverse characters are allowed to, to be good at things. No one is diminished. It does have that. But also, if you look at the Tremors level, the competence is distributed across different gender, age, class, personality. Women make crucial decisions without comment or apology. The narrative assumes equality and moves on. And survival requires cooperation, not dominance. Yes.
I actually think it's Tremors adjacent.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because diverse characters are allowed to be good at things.
Mm-hmm.
Survival and problem solving matter more than ego.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I think maybe it's even not that. Because survival and problem solving do not matter more than ego in this.
That is true.
No one is diminished to make someone else look cool is also not true.
You're right. You're right. I was thinking of it on a different... Yeah, I know you're right.
So it maybe approaches Tremors. Some inclusive instincts, but uneven follow through. Character shows skill, but authority still defaults to the usual suspects.
No, you're right.
Progress, but with friction.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not to say that it is a bad thing. That means it has some aspects of Tremors in that partial competence.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense.
No, you are totally right. So yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on that one because I was just trying to give it a lot more credit than where it did not deserve all that credit.
While the satire is there for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
it's still there, and we have to acknowledge the fact that
it is a satire,
right?
And it's not trying to be realistic. And if you try to do that, yeah. So it's going to get 1 point for the Tremors Index, which gives it a 6 out of 9.
Not
too bad.
It's still reasonable. And I think inclusivity really bulks it out.
Oh, yeah, because usually we lose on the inclusivity and then end up doing much better in Tremors.
So while I think that the disabled or different people are definitely pushed to the background in many instances, they're not ignored.
No.
They're not ignored in their existence. It's not just background without acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that. I thought that was a good aspect. And having any LGBTQ is good. It'd be really nice to have trans people in a film and not be a punchline or a trope.
Yes.
That would be nice. Just not a stereotype of some kind. Would be really nice.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with this. I just wanted to put that in.
Would be nice.
So that's where we are.
Yeah. So if you would like to watch Mean Girls, you can find it on Paramount Plus, Pluto, YouTube and YouTube TV, Amazon Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, and Fandango at home. And you can either watch it if you have the subscription or you can rent it for $3.99.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So thank you for joining us for Mean Girls 2004. This has been Cozy Quilt Cinema with Beth and Michelle. We loved having you in the blanket fort. You know those beautiful things about the stories that really stay with us. They follow you everywhere. On the floors of Tokyo, down in London town, no matter where in the world you're listening from, with the right film selection and a little mirror's reflection of your own life in these characters, you might just find yourself dancing with yourself through every feeling this one stirred up. And honestly, I think that's kind of magical. Keep the feelings going. Follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Cozy Quilt Cinema, or send your feedback and personal reflections to cozyquiltcinema@gmail.com. You can always find our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts. Please consider subscribing and leave a rating to help this community grow.
So, our next movie, here are your clues. For many years after this movie was released, it was the highest grossing British movie at $260 million worldwide. And these are not hard clues, guys, so these should be easy to figure this one out. The lead in this movie played a tape of himself at his brother's wedding at his audition, and he also needed to learn how to use sign language, not speak sign language, but use sign language to speak with his brother, the character's brother in the movie.
Okay.
So again,
sorry. Okay.
turned your mic off. So yeah, again, these are not hard clues, my friends. So, yes. Do you remember what we're doing next time?
Yeah.
Okay. Woohoo!
I don't always forget.
I know.
But when I do,
You forget.
I drink the sickies.
Okay, my friend. So until next time, boo, you whore.
So fetch.
Calling somebody else fat won't make you any skinnier. Calling someone stupid doesn't make you any smarter. And ruining Regina George's life definitely didn't make me any happier. All you can do in life is try to solve the problem in front of you.